Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Flip Classroom for this week. So this week in science is our hot task. So that means we are going to be looking at everything we've learned this whole half term on everyday materials. So this Flip Classroom is going to be a review of everything we've learned so that you'll be all ready for the hot task. So let's start. So can I name different materials? This is one of the lessons we did at the very beginning. So what are these items and what are they made from? So here we have some marbles, that's right, and they are made from glass, fantastic. Here we have some spoons and they're made from plastic. Here we have some clothes, that's right, and they're made from fabric. Here I have a nice cozy pair of slippers, and they're also made from fabric. Now, what about these? I have some pegs. What are they made out of? Well done if you said plastic as well as metal. That's right. They have a metal spring. So they're plastic and metal. Here I have some wooden spoons or some spatulas made out of wood. Here I've got some tongs. They're made out of metal, and I have some aluminum cans or tin cans that are made of metal. That's right, well done. So what are now the properties that we learned about to describe different materials? So let's have a look. So what do these words mean? So we have, my turn, your turn, hard, smooth, bumpy, squashy, opaque, brittle, dull, translucent, transparent, rigid, soft, bendy, not bendy, rough, waterproof. That's right, well done. So these are all the words, the vocabulary words we've been learning about that describe different materials. So I'm going to go over the ones that are new or the ones that are a bit tricky. So what does the word opaque mean? Well done. That's if you said, yeah, opaque means that you can't see through it. So here I've got this pack of pens. It's opaque. I can't see through it. What about the word brittle? What material do you know that is brittle? It's, yeah, another word would be breakable. So glass would be brittle. If I dropped it, it would break. What about the word dull? Now, this was a bit of a tricky one last time. Do you remember the opposite of dull? So we said that metal items are shiny. And I might say then that other materials could be dull. So they're not shiny. So this pen is dull. It's not a shiny or a bright color. Now, what about translucent? So we have three words, don't we? We have opaque, translucent, and transparent. So what does translucent mean? It's that tricky one. It's the one in between. So it's not clear, not like a window or a plastic water bottle that you can see through. It's kind of like maybe sunglasses or a blue bottle that you can kind of see through. That's what translucent means. So transparent means you can see through it. So like a window or one of those plastic water bottles you can buy from the shop. What about rigid? What does rigid mean? Well done. This pen is rigid, right? It's really hard. It can't bend. It's very strong. So then we have rough. So that would be maybe like a piece of sandpaper or some wood that would be feeling quite rough. And we have waterproof. So these are the words that we are expecting you to know next week. So I might say, show you a pen like this. I might say, what are the properties? So I might say it's hard, it's smooth, it's opaque, it's rigid. Those would be some of the words. Would I say it's bendy? No, I wouldn't say it's bendy. It's not bumpy. It's not squashy. So it's learning what the properties are for different materials. Now, the next activity that we learned was sorting objects into a Venn diagram. So here I have some objects and I have my Venn diagram. This side are things made of wood. This side, things made of metal. And in the middle is wood and metal. Let's have a look. I have this wooden cutting board. So it goes on the wood side. I've got these wooden spoons. They go on the wood side. These tin cans, they'd be made of metal. This key, it is made of metal. Now, what about my rabbit hutch? It's made of wood, but in the door and on the windows are some metal to keep, so that I can see through it, see the rabbit, but to keep the rabbit in to escape. So this would go in the middle because it is made of wood and metal. What about these plastic pegs? Now, we said they have metal on them, but they also have plastic. So would it go in wood? No. Would it go in just metal? No. Would it go in wood and metal? No, it wouldn't. So these would be on the outside. So this sorting activity is one thing that we did in the class, and there should be pictures on tapestry of you all doing it. So we've sorted the objects into the different materials. So that's another thing that you need to be able to do. Now, last thing we're going to look at is waterproof. So is this plastic bag waterproof or not? Well done if you said yes, it is. And we did that experiment, didn't we? We had some plastic, we put some water on it, and we checked, and the water didn't go through. So we knew that the plastic bag is waterproof. What about this kitchen towel? This kitchen roll, is it waterproof? That's right, it's not. If I had kitchen roll and I put some water on it, it would go right through and the kitchen roll would disintegrate, wouldn't it? So it's not waterproof. What about a pair of trainers? Are they waterproof? How can we know? I know that if I wear a pair of trainers and I go running in the wet grass, what happens to my socks? They start to get wet. So my trainers are made of fabric, and is fabric waterproof? No, that's right. So my trainers are not waterproof. Now, we looked at bridges because in history, we are looking at Isambard Kingdom Brunel and the bridges that he designed. So what we're doing in science is we're looking at the materials of bridges. So what are some of the materials that people use to make bridges? So well done if you said stone, rock, and metal. We looked at those bridges, didn't we? Now, what material would you not use to make a bridge? That's the question that I'm going to ask you. Would you use glass to make a bridge? Probably not, because it's brittle, it's easily to be broken, it's slippery and smooth, so it might be tricky for cars to drive on. What about, would you use paper to make a bridge? No, it's not very strong, is it? And it's not waterproof. So those are some of the things that we're going to be looking at next week. And the last one is looking at our water bottle. So we looked at the properties of water bottles. So here I have some water bottles. So let's have a look. This water bottle is made of plastic. It is transparent. It's waterproof. It's smooth. It's rigid. It's hard. Now, if I look at this one, it says, well, it's made of, this one, sorry, is made of plastic, but it's not transparent. I'd say it's translucent because you can see the straw through, but you can't see all the way through. Now, this green one is opaque. It is as well hard and rigid, but it is not made of plastic. It is made of metal. So here are some materials. We've got some properties. Hard, smooth, bendy, not bendy, rigid, waterproof, transparent, and translucent. Because we found out that some of you have those plastic water bottles that you buy in bulk. And we could squish it, couldn't we? And we could bend it. So some of our water bowls could be squashy. But these ones here, these ones are rigid and they're not bendy. So that's just a quick review of all the different things we've learned about over the last 5 weeks of science. So if you go through those, remember all those facts, remember those key skills, those key things about the vocabulary, and then we will be doing our hot task, which will very similar questions, and you need to show your teacher that you know the materials, the properties, which groups they go into, materials to use to build a bridge, and about waterproof. So review those things, and I'm sure you'll do fantastic on your hot test next week. Okay, bye.